Here's the highlights from the men's quarterfinals. In the first quarterfinals, it's the young Brazilian ripper Carlos Mario against the 2014 world champion Christophe Tack from Belgium. Christophe Tack's had a slow start to the year, and if he's going to turn it around, he needs a victory here. He starts things off with a bit of a crashed backside 315 as Carlos Mario eases into the heat with a sick back mode 5. Conditions are ideal for this heat, and both these riders love the flat water, but Christophe Tack's feeling the pressure and crashes hard with a mode. The crowd have really gathered to watch these freestyle athletes today, and Carlos Mario is rising to the occasion. Christophe Tack replied with a nice Chrome Mode 5, but what we're seeing this year is the riders with no pressure on them starting to perform brilliantly. Riding with confidence, Mario continued to dominate this heat, landing a backside 317, which was one of his signature moves at this event. A last ditch effort by Tack for a 317 didn't quite work out, and Carlos Mario advanced. A great amount of respect was paid by both these top riders. In the second quarterfinals, another Brazilian, Eudasio da Silva, would take on the UK's and 5 times world champion Aaron Hadlow. Hadlow, who now resides in Tarifa, will be used to these conditions, starting with a solid mode. Da Silva replied with an awesome double heart attack, but Hadlow started to take the initiative, just holding on to this front blind mode. Da Silva recomposed himself and carried on fighting right to the end of the heat, just missing the bar on this front to blind. Hadlow was after the slim 7, but had to settle with a slim 5. Here, Da Silva searches for a 317, a double handle pass with a front side rotation. He has to settle for just a 540 spin, and this very much could have been the difference, landing the 720. Hadlow carried on hard, but still couldn't find that slim 7, and left the water uncertain of his result. This heat went right down to the wire, but eventually, Hadlow done enough to advance to the semi-finals. A great effort from the Brazilian rider. In the third quarterfinal, it would be one belter of a heat. 2 best friends would go head to head, Yuri Zoon from the Netherlands against Mark Jacobs from New Zealand. As we know with the Virgin Kitesurf World Championships, there's no such thing as best mates when the green flag goes up. Both these riders have had a tough start to the season, and they're desperate for a good result here. Jacobs started well, but so did Zoon, landing this 317 clean as a whistle. In response to Zoon's big double, Jacobs performed a Hinterberger mode with super power. Both these riders have very contrasting styles. Jacobs rides with power and precision, but Zoon relies on his finesse and timing, which is essential for those doubles. But he couldn't find another to add to that first 317. Jacobs found the energy to raise his game at the critical moment in this heat. A perfect mode 5, followed by a backside 315, gave him a strong finish to the heat. Eventually, Zoon bowed out and Jacobs advanced. The Tarifa locals had turned out in force to watch their rider, Liam Whaley, take on Noy Font, also from Spain. Liam Whaley's looking strong this year after 2 first places in the last events. Whaley came out the blocks like a man possessed, but he wasn't the only Spanish rider to turn heads at this event. 2 times junior world champion Noy Font, in his first main event debut, showed everyone he's got what it takes to fight it out with the best. He forced Whaley to pull out the big moves and kept on going right to the very end. Here's a great shot of Font, demonstrating the perfect technique to land a mode. Whaley stepped things up with a Crow mode. Due to the tricky Levante conditions, both riders left their best moves to the end of the heat. Font was looking for a backside 315, whilst Whaley was looking for a double heart attack 3. He landed it perfectly, giving him the edge. Font searched again for a backside 315, but it wasn't to be for the junior world champion. With a nice KGB, Whaley sealed the deal, ending the newcomer's dreams, having to settle for 5th place. This won't be the last we see of Noy Font, who has a bright future ahead of him.